as members, we can go ahead and just click on Login. I'm already logged into my account. So here we are brought up to my profile wall. This is where we're going to have all the different aspects of the site that we're going to use on a day-to-day basis. And one of the things you may already be noticing right off the bat is that my profile wall may look a little bit different from yours. That's because we have all of these different widgets that you can utilize on your profile, and these are customizable, and you can move them around. You can remove some at your will. You're in full control of how your wall is going to look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn on all of them right now. And these are the current widgets that we have available to our members right now. You can see we've got, I've got my quick search over here in gray. I've got my company listings and my listings in a blue border. Then I've got my saved carts and my CMAs, as well as my mortgage calculator. Those are in red. And you'll notice if I click the little gear icon next to any of these, I can go ahead, I can change the color of it. So let's say I'm going to make my mortgage calculator that green because I know I want to kind of color coordinate everything. So anything pertaining to my listings and my company listings have this nice blue header. Carts and CMAs, those are in red. For those unfamiliar with these, the cart system is just like you would have a cart system when shopping on Amazon or another retailer online. You see things that you like and you just put them in your cart, just like shopping in real life. You're putting things in a cart to be checked out later. You do the same thing within the My State MLS platform. If you're doing a search for listings, you can go ahead, put listings into a cart, and then you can save that cart. You can email that cart to a customer or a client. You can even put those listings that are in that cart and convert it into a CMA, which moves us to our next window, which is the My CMAs. This is where we're going to be able to do a comparative market analysis for a potential property that we're looking to sell for one of our clients, or we're just trying to determine, comparables for maybe we're doing an appraisal or a BPO. The CMA is going to allow us to do that. And we'll do a quick run through of how that CMA tool works in just a little bit. And what's great about the widgets is these are the base widgets that we have right now. We're actually getting ready to launch even more very soon, including the company documents widget. This is where we're going to allow you to send us listing agreements, different documents that pertain to your company's day-to-day business. So if you've got company branded listing sheets, company branded disclosure forms, company branded agency forms, all of those you can send to us and we'll upload them and put them on a widget right here anywhere on the wall, and then your agents will be able to pull them up and say they need to get a listing contract. They can easily log into their My State MLS account, click on that form, and they're going to be able to download that and then take that to their listing appointment or wherever it is they need to go. And it doesn't just have to be listing contracts. If there are any documents that you want your agents or your office to have access to very easily, we'd be able to put those in to the listing, the docs widget. And again, those are going to be PDFs that you can access right through your profile wall. Now, in addition to being able to move and remove and change the color of them, you can see all I have to do is I can just reorganize them in any which way I want just by dragging and dropping. That's the profile wall. As we move forward, let's just take a look at what else is accessible from the site. One of the things that is newer to our system is our profile sidebar, which is found on the left-hand side of the screen. You can see it's got my face here, little information about myself. Again, we have access to my cart. I can see I've got 6 listings in there already. I've got my listings, which again are the listings that I've entered into the system. I can add a new listing. I can search the properties that are in My State MLS. I can also access my clients. This is essentially an electronic Rolodex where you can go ahead, put in the information for your clients and customers, and that's going to remain private to you. I can go ahead, edit my account. I can go to my listing forms and resources. Here we can access training sheets, training videos, and then we can also access Find. When it comes to searching properties, 9 times out of 10, we're going to refer you to using Find because what Find does, Find takes public record data and MLS data, not only from just My State MLS, from all the different local MLSs across your state and across the entire country, and combines them into one central search tool. So no matter who you're working with, whether you're working with a customer relocating somewhere down the street, they're getting ready to sell their home, or they're moving across the country, you can help them find the properties that they need either for comparables or for a new place to live, you're going to be able to do that with Access Find. And we're going to take a closer look at that in a little bit as well. Moving to the top of the screen, again, we've got the wall button, which takes us back to the wall. Our account dropdown is going to send us to the different aspects of our account, whether we want to change our profile, change our password. We can also view our inbox and our calendar. If you have a listing in the system and a customer or another member of the MLS messages you, not only will you get an email of that message sent to you to your email address, it's also going to be logged in your inbox as well. We can also view the calendar, which has our open houses and other things scheduled as our showings, and then we'll also have, again, our resources and forms page. To the right of that is our listings dropdown, where we're going to be able to add listings as well as see my listings of different statuses. I can see the company listings that are in my company. I can, again, go to my cart or go to my saved carts. Next, we're going to be able to search the listings that are within New York State MLS with search listings. We can also use Find. Again, we're going to take a closer look at Find in a little bit. And then we can also view our saved searches from the database, as well as search the members that are in My State MLS. Our last tab here is our clients, and again, this is our electronic Rolodex, essentially our personal files of our customers, our clients, and as we can go, this will start right here. Let's add a new client, and you'll see we can get basic information about them, their contact information, and you can see we can actually attach them to searches, to CMAs, and carts. So every time we save a cart and say we want to save it to a specific client or customer, it would be able to be attached there. We can save personal information about themselves, the preferences as to what they're looking for, and then we can just keep personal notes about that client. Clients, again, are going to remain completely private to you. You do not have to worry about anyone else seeing them. The only person that's going to have access to them is going to be you. Let's go back to my wall. And the first thing that we're going to want to do today is we're going to add a listing. So let's go ahead and click Add New Listing. We can do that from the left sidebar menu, or we can do that from the listing drop-down and click Add New Listing. From here, we've got two different options on how we want to create a listing. You'll see we have a blank listing or clone a company listing. Today, we're going to do a blank listing, but to go over what cloning is let's say we had a listing from someone that listed their house earlier this year. Summer came around and they said, you know, it's not working out for us. Let's just take it off the market for now. But now November's coming and they said, you know, let's list it again in November. I want to relist it. So instead of you having to go through an entire listing setup again, we're just going to be able to clone that listing. That's essentially going to make a carbon copy of the original listing, and we're going to be able to then just go through it, modify it, update the photos, update the listing price, maybe change the property description, and we're going to be able to do that. So instead of having to do a whole new blank listing, we're taking a copy and then just modifying it. But right now we're going to do a blank listing, and we're going to just run through this listing wizard real quick. As we go through the listing wizard, instead of it being one long listing sheet or listing form that we have to fill out, the listing wizard within My State MLS breaks it down into about 8 different steps. So now, instead of one long listing sheet, we have different steps. What's great about this is every time we click the next step, our listing is being saved as a draft. So we don't have to worry about losing data ever. Once we've hit that next step, the work that we've done so far is saved. So if we realize that we have to be somewhere in 10 minutes, we don't have to worry about losing the information. The power goes out, the cable goes out. Whatever the issue is, you don't have to worry, because as long as you've hit that next step before, your listing is being saved as a draft. So the first thing you'll notice is I'm already marked as the listing agent. If I was doing this as a co-listing agent, I could go ahead, just start typing in names to see if anyone else is in my office. So I've got Meyer there. He's listing the property with me, so I'm going to mark him as a co-listing agent. One thing to know is when adding co-listing agents to a property, once they're marked as a co-listing agent, they too will also be able to now modify the listing moving forward. Now we're going to go through, select our property type. You'll see we have various different property styles. We've got our residential listings, our multi-units, our commercial listing properties, as well as vacant land, where this is just a house. And what's great about our listing wizard is it modifies itself depending on what kind of property we're listing. If we were to do a multi-unit or a commercial building, the listing wizard would change to allow us to list the details of each one of those units that makes up that building. So we could say units 1 and 2 are residential, unit 3 is commercial. We'd be able to do that within the listing wizard. And a great way to show you exactly how it modifies itself is with the sale rental dropdown. I know a lot of My State MLS members are auctioneers, so you can see we actually have a for sale auction flag. When I click auction, the listing wizard automatically changes itself and shows us the fields that would pertain to an auction, such as the auction start date and time. And now our list price now says starting bid. But we're going to do a sale. So those fields again disappear because the listing wizard modifies itself. And we've got listing price. We're going to put in our price. We're going to select a state. And again, if you're licensed in multiple states and your account is not set up for that yet, let us know. Contact our offices and we'll be able to get you access to the other states that you can list properties in. All we do is we simply match up your account with your license, and then when you put listings in, your drop-down will populate with the other states where you're licensed to list property. Right now my account is set up just for New York, so we're just going to put in New York. If I was in New Jersey and Pennsylvania as well, I would see the NJ and PA under there. Now as we go through, you'll see we have different field colors. Anything in red is going to be a required field. Anything in black is not a required field, but we can, of course, if we're filling something out, we're going to want it to be as full as possible. There we go. And again, once I hit next step, my listing is being saved as a draft. The next step here is we're looking at a map of where this property is located. And the way our system works is it's designed to match on the map where your property is based on the address. But we know sometimes Google's wrong. Sometimes these mapping programs can be a little difficult, especially if you're listing land that may not have an actual physical address just yet. So what's great about this is we can take that pin, that A, and I can drag it and I can move it to wherever I need to. Let's go ahead, we'll put it right actually where it belongs, on that corner. I'll save that, and that latitude and longitude that we've repopulated is going to be saved on the listing, so when it gets sent out to the syndicated sites, it's going to be mapped in the correct location because you physically put that pin where it's supposed to be. Moving forward, we have our listing type. Again, here are our listing options. We have our exclusive right to sell, our exclusive agency, or a limited exclusive. Limited exclusive would be if you had a co-listing agreement with another company or another agent. But right now I'm the sole exclusive agent on this, so I've got an exclusive right to sell. Our listing date is today. I'm going to just set this for tomorrow because we're not going to really have this go live. Next is agreeing to the terms of use and that I have permission to list this property. Of course I do, so I'm going to click yes to those. And here is the next page, next section is actually quite important. This is our syndication feeds. This is where you're going to be in control as to what sites we're going to send your listings out to and help get your listings out to. My State MLS, many of you may have joined us because you've been recommended to us by Zillow. And we actually send to the top 5 sites directly here in the U.S. We do direct syndication to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes, and Home Finder. And by that we have direct syndication to those sites directly, which means they're getting it right from the source, which means there's no tunnels to go through, which ensures that the data is going to be more correct. There's nothing going to be lost in translation. And through those independent contracts as well, we actually are able to pass along different perks to you as a My State MLS member. When you send listings to Zillow and Trulia, you're going to appear at the top of your listing each time with your name, picture, and phone number. So which means potential customers that are doing their searches online, because we all know buyers are doing their own searches now, they're going to see you marked as that listing agent, which can help bring in more leads to you and directly to you because you're marked as that listing agent. On Homes and Home Finder, not only will you be marked prominently as the listing agent, but anytime a potential customer clicks that contact for more information, I'd like more information email, you're going to get a copy of that lead each time. In addition to that, we also allow our members to put in contact information directly into the property description on sites like Homes and Home Finder. So which means more syndication options for you, more chances to get those leads back to you. So in addition to saying, great home, neighborhood, got to see to believe, will sell quick, I can also say, for more information, contact Dave at 888-769-7657 or email dave@mystatemls.com. These are just things that we sprinkle in to enhance your business, to enhance your listing syndication, and to just give you the most possible feedbacks possible when it comes to your listings. So we're not going to send this anywhere, so I'm going to uncheck this for now. Next is our showing instructions. Here we can say call for showing. This is going to be seen by other members. 24 hours notice needed. We can put that there. Any other information about a combo or a key, we can put there as well. Our next two fields is our commission information. A total commission field is going to be required, but this is not seen by anyone else other than the people within your company. It's not seen by any other members. It's not seen by the public. The total commission remains completely private to you and your company. What is seen by other members is below that with the agent splits. With these fields here, there are 4 of them, but only one of them is required. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the commission split that we've agreed to offer if another member is to bring a buyer to the property I'm listing. So I'm going to put buyer's agent commission split is 3%, and that's all I have to do there. The next required fields as we go down is going to be the owner's name and the owner's phone number. Again, these 2 fields are going to remain completely private to you. They're not going to be seen by any other members, and you'll see it's only disclosed to the MLS to post the listing. It's never displayed to the public. It's just there for verification purposes that we can determine that the listing you're entering is a legitimate listing. It's never seen by anyone else other than yourself. Again, we can put in other information regarding the owner, contact information such as that, but again, all of that is going to remain private to you. Once we've done that, now we're going to start focusing in on the property itself. Here we've got basic information about the property. We can talk about the style of it, the year it was built, year it was renovated, any renovation notes that we want to add, as well as the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. And again, every time that I click next step, my listing is being saved as a draft. I don't have to worry about losing what I've already done because it's being saved. After we've done that, now we're going to focus on the inside of the house. Here's where we're going to be able to say what rooms are in the house, what kind of kitchen is in it, the flooring type, the heat type, cooling type. All of that's going to be included. So let's go ahead. We'll just check some of these off. You can see we can also put in AC, any details regarding the basement. After we've done the inside of the house, we're moving on to the outside. We're going to talk about the siding type, the roofing type, any type of outbuildings, or anything like that, any exterior amenities. Again, we can just go ahead and check off all that would pertain to this particular property. And remember, if you don't have all the details about the property, we can always come back and add more at any time. Anything that we do when adding a listing, nothing is completely set in stone. We can always go ahead and modify this at any time. This next step here is we're going to be talking about what is in the community or the building where this property is located. So say this isn't a gated community, it's a condo and a building. We can then talk about the amenities that are available within that community. This is not a building that is a co-op or anything like that, so we can ignore this page and we'll just go ahead to the next step. Our next page here is a very important one. This is where we're going to do our marketing text, our property description, as well as that branded postfix that I talked about before. This is where we're going to be able to go ahead and pop in information regarding the property. So first we're going to start with our marketing headline. We're going to do our property description. And below is our branded postfix. This is where I'm going to be able to put in my contact information. This is going to display on the public side of your listings. It's going to be able to be sent to sites like Homes and Home Finder, as well as a lot of the sites that we send through ListHub syndication. And ListHub sends out to about another 6 dozen sites across the country. And you have the ability of having this information displayed on some of those sites as well. So again, this is something that you may not necessarily get from a different or a local MLS because they're just not designed to handle something like this. But we allow it, and we really encourage you to embrace it, because being able to put your contact information into the property description is a great way to get more calls and get more leads back to you directly regarding your listings. Our next step here is going to be our private remarks. Now this is where we're going to be able to put in private remarks to other members within the MLS. Here, whereas we could put more disclosures regarding the property. I've also seen members put in a text property description, so you can describe what's on the first floor, what's on the second floor. Anything that you want to put just going to other My State MLS members, go ahead and add that there. Our next page is our virtual tour link as well as the YouTube tour link. Again, these are two other pages that are two other sections that you should really utilize no matter what. And what's great about them is especially the virtual tour link. So let's say I'm listing this property. I've already got it on my company website. So what I can do is I can put a virtual tour link, but I don't have a virtual tour. Instead, I'll put the URL that goes back to my company website or goes back to this listing that's on my company website. Because again, anything that's going to help drive traffic to your website or drive traffic to your listing, it's just an easy way to just get more clicks back to your property and get potential customers to stick with you. If you've got a YouTube video online on YouTube, we can go ahead and click that there. And what I've done is I've added the same video just to show you exactly how it works. We're on the last few steps. Right now we're on our tax and fee information. I don't have any of that information for this property now. The homeowner is just getting it out. They had to find it in their filing cabinet, but they're going to send that to me tomorrow. So I'm going to leave this blank for now. I can fill that again later. Our last final two steps within the listing wizard are going to be uploading our listing photos as well as our listing contract. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and upload our photos to this property. And we've made it incredibly easy for you to upload photos. So what I've got here is I've got a folder of all my different properties, and you can see I just have to select the property that pertains to this. I click that folder, I open it up, and all I have to do is just highlight my mouse over all of these properties, drag them into the photo uploader window, click the start upload button, and automatically I'm now uploading all of the photos to my listing in one shot. There's no more need to do one photo at a time. We can just do all of our pictures at once. We allow up to 36 photos in high-res HD quality, so if you get professional photos done, go ahead, add them to your listing, because this is really going to put your property in the best light possible. Once the wizard has uploaded all of the photos, now we can go through, we can reorganize them into the order we like, add our captions, and once we've added our captions, we'll go ahead and click add more, or we'll click next step. Again, we can always go back, add more photos down the road because we allow you to edit your listings at any time. My account's not set up for it, but after we upload our photos, you would then upload your listing contract to your listing. Again, listing contracts remain completely private. They're only seen by yourself and our listing approval team here to make sure that the listing is a valid listing. If there are any issues, we do just send you a private email asking you about it, just to let you know, clarify any issues that we have with the listing. But after that, if the listing's approved, it's going to be made live. Once you've uploaded everything, you'll see we have this listing as a hidden draft. You'll have two different options here depending on the listing. You'll have, right now, I've got a Go Live button. After you've done everything, you may see a different button that'll say Send for Approval. Again, what that'll do is that'll send your listing over to our approval team. They'll just verify that everything on the listing has been filled out and completed. Once it's been approved, it'll then go live automatically for you. And then once that's done, it'll start syndicating out to all of the different sites that you've selected for your listing syndication. But now here's my listing. You can see when I click my photo, again, I get those full-size pictures. I'll be able to get them in high res, so full color, full view. It's just going to look great to potential customers browsing this property. You'll see I've got my open house information right here as well. So here I can quickly and easily add an open house just by selecting from the drop-down a start date, time, and whether it's a public open house or not. Once I click schedule, that open house has now been scheduled, and that open house data will also be sent out to those public sites that display open houses. And you'll remember when we went through that listing wizard, we added that virtual tour and that video YouTube link. Those will appear right below the photo. You can see my virtual tour. When I click that, that's going to send us directly to that page. So let's say we sent it to a company website. It would go right to that company website. Whereas the video tour, again, this is a YouTube video that we added, that remains right on the MLS, and all we have to do is we click play, and this allows our customer not to leave the MLS. They're staying right within the system, and they're still getting a view of that video that you posted to your listing. So I'm just going to do a quick search and just show you exactly what another agent's listing would look like. So again, here's a property. We've got nice full screen photos. And you'll see we cannot see the owner's information because, again, that remains completely private, so we're not going to see that at all. The only person that sees that is the listing agent. I can't see what that full commission is, but because I'm a member of the MLS, I can see what the commission split is. So again, the private fields that we said remain private are completely private. The ones that aren't, we can see. So now that we've added listings, let's go ahead and let's take a look at searching a listing. As I mentioned before, Find is the tool that you're going to want to use when searching for properties. Because again, Find is going to give you listings from all the different MLSs, not only across just your state, but the entire country. And you can see right off the bat, we're looking at 105 million properties across the entire country. So how do we see a listing that you want to do? So let's go ahead. Anyone that's in listening right now, go to your questions tab and just give me a zip code. Let's just have some fun. Let's see what we can find when it comes to finding a listing. All right, so here's one. Jennifer Snyder beats you all out. We're going to go 62454. I have no idea where that is. So we are in Robinson, Illinois. And I know that we do have some New York State MLS, or My State MLS members there, excuse me. And let's see. We can see we've got 4,000 properties in that specific zip code, but we want to see what's for sale. So now we can see all of the different listings from the various different sources across the entire state, or from the area, from all the different areas, we're seeing those listings. And what's great about Find is how customizable we can make our search. So right off the bat, the first thing I did is I put in a zip code, then I put in for sale regarding, what kind of property I'm looking for. Now we can further narrow it down. I can just type in 4 beds. I'm going to type in 3 baths. And as I continue to add more criteria, my search is getting more narrow, and I'm finding properties that I think are going to be best for my customer. So once I've gone ahead and I've found some properties that I think are good for my client or my customer, I want to share them with them. So how can I do that? Well, with Find, we can actually do branded reports that go directly to your customer. And what's great about them is it's going to be branded with your information, so they are going to come right back to you to see this property. So let's say I think these two are definitely good. I'm going to go ahead and click Add to Report. And as I do that, you'll see it shoots up to the report bin right here at the top right corner. Now I've got my 2 properties in here, and I can preview it, and I'm going to do a customer long report. And what Find is going to do, Find is going to build a PDF branded with my information that I can then send and submit to my customer. And again, it's going to be branded with my information. I don't have my photo on here now, but I'd be able to have my photo here, my company logo on the right-hand side, and this is just basic information regarding the properties that we saw. We're going to share it. We'll save it. We'll get a URL link there. You'll see I can copy and paste that. I can then go to my email. I can go to my Gmail. I can go to my Outlook, whatever I use for email. I can then copy and paste that link into an email and say, hey, John, check out these listings. I think you're going to like them. They'll click that link. Find again is going to then generate that full report for them. And now they're going to be able to go through and see the different properties, again, branded with my information. So again, my name and information would be all at the top. I can brand it with my name, my phone number, my email address, my website, my fax number, my cell phone number. All that information would be branded here right at the top. And then they can see basic information about the properties. So again, when it comes to sharing, we just put listings in our report bin by adding to reports. We'll click on our report bin. We'll click preview. You'll see we've got various different reports that we can actually create. So this time I click the map summary. And what that's going to do is this is going to give me a basic overview of where these properties are. So if you want to send multiple reports, say we want to do the customer along and then accompany it with the map summary, this is going to show us exactly where those properties are in correlation to one another, so our customer knows exactly where these houses are, because maybe they're particular as to where these lists, where they want to move. They want to say north of 33 here. They could certainly do that. But let's say we're doing a CMA. Let's stay in Robinson, and our customer wants to sell a home in Robinson, Illinois. What we're going to do is we're going to create a CMA for them. So I'm going to click on CMA from the client's dropdown, and then I'm going to click New CMA. We're selling Tommy's home. In Robinson. Oops. We don't know what we're going to list it yet. We're just going to put in basic information about the property. So here we go. I've saved my CMA for Tommy's home that I'm looking to sell. Now what I can do is, using the properties that I found in Find, excuse me, I can add a custom comp. And now I can go ahead and put in the details regarding that property from Find. So one of the best ways to do it is after we've made our customer, or made our report bin and filled it out with the comps we want to use, we could go ahead and maybe print up, maybe get the agent long, print this up ourselves, and then we can kind of see the details of the property. and then add it and compare it to this property. So Tommy's house only has one garage space, but this house actually had two, as we can see in this report. So again, we could just go through in our CMA, make all of the comparisons. Make our adjustments. Again, CMAs is going to allow you to go ahead and make those adjustments, those comparative, can make that comparative market analysis to really compare your subject property to what would be a comparables for you. And as we move forward, we're going to be also, while I'm here, just to bring to your attention, from the account drop-down is our resources and forms. One of the things I want to bring to your attention is the training sheets and videos found at the top left of this page. Here's where you're going to be able to see different training sheets and different training videos based on different topics within the MLS. So if there's anything that you're learning or want to know how to do, by all means, check the training sheets, check the training videos, and we're going to be adding more of these in the coming weeks. We're going to be probably doing a replay of this webinar on here as well. So always come back to this page because we're always updating it. And what's great about these training sheets is they're designed to be just one-page sheets. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and print up all of these pages and essentially make your own handbook for the MLS, so you have all the access to all of the different things that you would want to do. Training videos are also great. They just pop up. They're just a couple minutes long on each different topic, and they're just going to go through the different aspects of the site. So if there's something that you missed on this webinar, you can certainly do that as well. Going back to Find, Terry wanted to know what about sold prices. So Find works both ways. So not only does Find allow us to see for sale, for rent, and off market, it's also going to allow us to see recently sold. So I can just go ahead, type in recently sold. If I could spell today, it is Friday afternoon for sure. And then we'd be able to see recently sold properties. And again, recently sold works back the past 6 months. We can also do sold after. So if we say we're in a very rural area and there weren't many sales within past 6 months, we could do sold after 01/01/2017. And that's going to show me everything that's sold so far this year. And again, if we needed to narrow it down, we could do that. We want everything with 3 or more bedrooms, anything with 2 or more baths. And this really allows us to narrow down the same way we do that. Saul wanted to know if we can add these properties to the CMA just like the report. Unfortunately, Find and MyStateMLS are 2 separate databases, so you can't just automatically import the data from this into your CMA. You would need to manually do it. But again, that's why if you work with multiple screens like I do here in my office, I can put Find on one screen and put my CMA on the other screen. Or if you need to, like I said, you can always print it out. So I think that's all I've got for now. What I'm going to do is toss things back over to Dawn. I know she's been answering a lot of your questions. So let's see what else is going on her office.
All right, I want to bring everybody up to speed on the showing tab. So what I think I'm going to do is ask for you to throw the screen over to me. There's a few things I want you to know about that I think are very handy tools with My State MLS. I'm logged into my NY State MLS, and you guys might see that. I'm in New York, so I get the NY, but everybody outside of New York, just that N becomes an M. Everything else about the program is the same. So sometimes in Find, you see it says NY State MLS. That's because they just have the old name on there. We actually changed our name over to My State MLS. And in New York, we kept the N, just not to confuse our New Yorkers. But we really are MY State MLS. And this program is the same. It's the same database. And New York is part of the rest of the 50 states that my state covers. I have a listing here that I'm going to go to, and I'm going to show it to you. It's this listing here in Hudson, New York. and it tells me I'm the office manager of this listing. So I don't think Dave covered this. One thing I do want to go over is that if you are the office manager of your office and your agents are all on the My State account, you can get this admin tab here. And with this admin tab, you can manage offices, manage agents, and manage all the listings for your office. So if you're the office manager, you can make changes that you need to the office listings. You can also schedule showings on your listings. And I'm going to click on the showings tab here to show you that I have quite a few showings on this listing, waiting on an offer. Every time I wanted to, someone called and made a showing, I clicked the Add the Showing button. And I'm going to do that here now. I actually did just get a call. Someone wants to come tomorrow to see it, so I'm just going to put that in. And I'm going to put in the start time. They want to come at 11, and they will be gone by 12. Co-broke means another agent wants to show it, but if it was a client that called me directly, I would call that a self-showing. So I'm showing it to my client. And I would put my client's name down here. Dave Mink is my client. Dave, you're a good client, by the way. Just wanted you to know that. There you go. There's Dave's phone number. Give him a call. And then I'm also going to put in Dave's email address. And I'm going to schedule that showing. And I'm going to show, it shows up here. And these showings all stay on the listing. So if you notice, the listing is here. The showing schedule is at the top. You can keep track of all your showings here just like that. And you're able to then print this out for your client and show them all the showings they've had. You can also copy and paste this into an email to email the showings. We're going to be adding an email showings button so that you can email these to your client as well. You can edit them or delete them because Dave is actually not really seeing this house. So I just removed that showing there. This is what it looks like when I look at my own listing. My virtual tour is here. My full screen slideshow is here. And if I wanted to email this listing to a client, I'd click share and then email. And then if I want to, I can include a map or a link to the agent full layout. If I don't click link to agent full layout, they will get the client or the public layout. But if I want them to have all of the fields, all the private fields, I can click link to agent full layout. And then I can include or exclude the marketing text as well. So be sure that when you email your listing, you know what details you want to include with the listing. And then when the client gets it, they'll be able to click through. And if you checked marketing text, they'll get marketing text. If you clicked agent full layout, your client will get the agent full layout. Or if you're emailing this to an appraiser. You can also view the history on a listing. You can click on the map. You can add your listing to a CMA. So now, let's say you have to do a CMA on this property because you need to really find out how much it's worth. You can just click add to and add to CMA. And then you can select a CMA. You can create a new one and you can call it whatever name you want to give it. That's the name of the property. I'm going to click save. And now I've created a CMA for Best Lane. And if I view it, it'll be, that property will be completely filled out. And then I can make it the subject property, if it's the subject property. And now I have a subject property and my CMA. And so that's how you can get one of your listings into a CMA. A couple other things that I wanted to show you that you could do with My State MLS. When you're doing your access find, Dave was showing this before, but I want to show how you can actually get your branding on your reports. When you're in find, there's tabs at the top here that say search, tagging, settings, and answer center. If you click on settings, here's where you can fill out your information. And you only have to do this the one time. Fill out all your broker's information. You are able to upload your photo here. And at the time, you can upload your logo. So if you want to show what a branded report looks like if I wanted to add like this California property to my report. I just added 3 properties to my report. If I click on the report bin and I click preview and I preview the customer along version, you'll see at the top that you're going to get. So this is what you get when you do a branded report. You get your picture and you get your logo on it and all your information. And then if you want to share this, because I think somebody asked before, how do we share this? They wanted to see that again. There's a little share button here, and you just click the little share button. And from there, you just name the report, click save, and you'll get a link to share it. Or you can just click the send via email, and it'll open up your email, and it'll send this report. And then you'll just add the email address. Steve's got a question. He wants to know, his owner wants to withhold the address because he's worried about somebody finding out about the address. Can he post a property without an address? You know what, Steve, you can withhold the address, but I cannot guarantee that the third parties are going to take it. Certainly in My State MLS, we let you, you could type to be determined or address withheld. You can do that. We don't have restrictions against it because we want you to put all your listings in. This is your listing management system after all. I can't guarantee that Zillow or Realtor.com are going to take it though. So it's kind of a double-edged sword that you're asking there. Yeah, you can put it in My State. Is Zillow going to take it? Probably not. Julie wants to know if she puts in the wrong listing price, how does she change it? That's pretty easy. You can just go to your listing. And you can click on one of your listings, click on the edit button right next to price, click edit, and change the price. Thank you all for coming to our webinar. Any questions that you have, send us an email. Dave, you can put up the nice little banner that tells everybody how to contact us. And don't forget to tell your friends, tell everyone you're working with. You are now part of My State MLS. You are with the nationwide listing service, and you can list anywhere. You can list anywhere you're licensed. Time to expand your territory. So everybody, MyStateMLS.com and NewYorkStateMLS.com have the same phone number. That's because the M and the N are both on the same button on the keypad. They're both on the 6. So it's 888-769-7657. It's 888-7NYSMLS or MYSMLS. That's our phone number. Easy to remember. You can chat with us too. And we'd love to hear from you. Talk to you all soon.